Eat eggs, but never make these mistakes. Every day, millions of people around the world eat eggs. You've probably had an egg today yourself. But every day, people also make mistakes when eating eggs that take away all the benefits and can even harm you. But what are these mistakes? That's what you're about to find out. Mistake number 5. Eating undercooked eggs. Did you know that eating undercooked eggs, especially with runny yolks, can be risky for your health? While many people enjoy this type of preparation, it increases the risk of salmonella contamination, a bacteria that can cause serious gastrointestinal issues. Salmonella is particularly dangerous for people with weakened immune systems, children, and the elderly. Cooking eggs thoroughly helps eliminate this threat and ensures a safe and nutritious meal. Many people love runny yolks, whether in poached or fried eggs, but this can be a problem if the egg is contaminated. Salmonella contamination usually occurs on the shell or inside the egg, and if the cooking temperature isn't high enough, the bacteria can survive. Here's a tip: when cooking eggs, always aim to cook them until the whites and yolks are firm. That way, you ensure harmful bacteria are eliminated. A simple example is that Sunday breakfast when you decide to make scrambled eggs with creamy yolks. It sounds delicious, but without proper care, it could lead to food poisoning. Often, we don't realize something is wrong until a few hours later when symptoms start to appear. And nobody wants to go through that, right? So the best way is to cook your eggs thoroughly to avoid any unpleasant surprises. Now think with me, how many times have you or someone you know eaten eggs with runny yolks, not worrying about the risks? It's pretty common, but it can be avoided with simple habit changes. Proper cooking doesn't take much time and ensures a safer meal for you and your family. It's worth taking that extra precaution. And if you're wondering how to cook eggs safely, stick around because we've got more valuable tips in the next chapters. Mistake number 4. Ignoring the cholesterol in eggs. You've probably heard that eggs are a great source of protein, but what many people forget is that they also contain a considerable amount of cholesterol, especially in the yolk. For people with high cholesterol issues, eating too many eggs can be a concern. While recent studies have shown that dietary cholesterol doesn't always directly raise blood cholesterol levels, it's still important to pay attention. What happens is that the human body naturally produces cholesterol, so when you consume foods rich in this compound, it can build up in your blood, increasing the risk of heart disease. That's why people with a genetic predisposition to high cholesterol or heart problems need to monitor their egg consumption. The good news is that egg whites are cholesterol-free, so you can enjoy them without worry. Now, an important tip: if you're one of those people who need to control cholesterol, try limiting your yolk intake to 3 or 4 per week. Another option is to use more egg whites, which are also rich in protein and contain no cholesterol. This way, you can still include eggs in your diet in a balanced way. Remember, moderation is the key to a healthy and balanced diet. A common example is having eggs for breakfast every day. For many, this is a healthy choice, but for those with high cholesterol, it can be dangerous. Replacing yolks with whites in some meals can help reduce the risk without sacrificing the nutritional benefits of eggs. So it's worth adapting your eating habits to protect your heart. Here's a question: do you usually pay attention to the cholesterol in the foods you eat? If you've never thought about it, maybe it's time to take a closer look. High cholesterol can be a silent problem, so taking care of your diet is an effective way to prevent bigger issues down the road. Let's continue with more important tips in the next chapter. Mistake number 3. Cooking eggs at high temperatures. Another common mistake when preparing eggs is cooking them at too high temperatures. Many people are in a hurry in the kitchen and end up using high heat to speed things up, but this practice can damage the egg's nutritional value. When exposed to intense heat, nutrients like vitamins and minerals can be lost, and the cholesterol in the yolk can oxidize, which increases the risks of heart problems. The secret to preserving all the nutritional benefits of eggs is to use gentler cooking methods, like steaming or frying them on low heat. This not only helps maintain the nutrients, but also improves the flavor and texture of the eggs. Cooking at high temperatures can make the eggs dry or too tough, which isn't always appealing to the palate. Think of that quick fried egg you make when you're in a rush. If the oil is too hot, the white can burn before the yolk even cooks, resulting in a less healthy and less tasty meal. A simple and effective method is to cook the eggs slowly, ensuring even cooking and nutrient preservation. Your body and taste buds will thank you. Moreover, cooking eggs at moderate temperatures helps prevent cholesterol oxidation. When oxidized, cholesterol becomes more harmful to heart health. So by cooking eggs properly, you're not only preserving the nutrients, but also protecting your cardiovascular health. It's a small adjustment that makes a big difference in the long run. Next time you're preparing eggs, try lowering the stove temperature a bit. You'll notice the difference in both taste and health benefits. Mistake number 2. Pairing eggs with unhealthy foods. Another common mistake is pairing eggs with less healthy foods like bacon or sausage. While it's a traditional practice in many breakfasts, this combination can cancel out the nutritional benefits of eggs. Foods high in saturated fats, like bacon, can raise blood cholesterol levels and increase the risk of heart disease. A healthier way to enjoy eggs is to pair them with fresh vegetables. An omelet filled with spinach, tomatoes, and bell peppers, for example, is a complete and nutritious meal. Vegetables are rich in fiber, vitamins, and minerals, which help balance the meal and bring more health benefits. Plus, pairing eggs with vegetables makes the meal lighter and more flavorful. Have you ever stopped to think about how simply changing your sides can transform your meal? Swapping bacon for vegetables or avocado, for instance, brings more nutrients and reduces the amount of saturated fat on your plate. It's an easy adjustment to make that can have a big impact on your health in the long run. Small daily changes can be powerful. And if you like a fuller meal, another tip is to add whole grains, like a slice of whole wheat bread, alongside the eggs. This increases fiber and nutrient intake and helps with digestion. The key is always to balance your meal, combining proteins, fiber, and vitamins to ensure proper nutrition. That way, you get the most out of eggs without compromising your health. Now tell me, what's your favorite egg combination? Have you tried making an omelet with vegetables or adding other healthy ingredients? Mistake number 1. Eating raw eggs. The last mistake we're going to discuss, which many people make without realizing the risk, is eating raw eggs. Whether in homemade mayonnaise, desserts like tiramisu, or even protein shakes, eating raw eggs might seem harmless, but it carries serious health risks. The main concern with eating raw eggs is salmonella contamination, a bacteria that can cause severe food poisoning, with symptoms like diarrhea, vomiting, and fever. Salmonella is one of the most common pathogens associated with eggs, especially when they're not fully cooked. Although the eggshell may seem like a strong protection, in some cases, the bacteria can contaminate both the surface and the inside of the egg. When eaten raw or undercooked, the risk of contracting salmonella significantly increases. That's why it's always important to ensure that eggs are fully cooked before consuming them, eliminating any chance of contamination. You've probably seen popular recipes that use raw or undercooked eggs, like chocolate mousse, eggnog, or even raw eggs in protein shakes. Many people believe that eating raw eggs preserves the nutrients better or offers some extra health benefits. But the truth is that, besides the contamination risks, raw eggs are not as easily digested as cooked ones. Studies show that raw egg whites have lower protein bioavailability, meaning the body doesn't absorb the nutrients as well as it would if the egg were cooked. So how can we continue to enjoy recipes that usually call for raw eggs, but without taking risks? The solution is simple: opt for pasteurized eggs. Pasteurized eggs go through a controlled heating process that eliminates the bacteria without compromising the egg's nutritional quality. They can be used safely in any recipe that requires raw eggs, like homemade mayonnaise, sauces, or desserts. These days, it's easy to find pasteurized eggs in supermarkets, ensuring a safe way to consume eggs without giving up the recipes you love. A practical example: imagine you're preparing a chocolate mousse for a family dinner. The recipe calls for raw eggs, and you might be tempted to follow the traditional method, but it's worth considering the risk of exposing your guests to salmonella. Instead, you can use pasteurized eggs and ensure that the dessert is not only delicious but also safe for everyone. It's small adaptations like this that can make a big difference in the final outcome. Another option is cooking eggs at a low temperature for specific recipes, like poached eggs. When done correctly, this method allows the egg to cook without hardening the whites and yolk too much, keeping the texture soft and creamy but without the contamination risk. It's a bit more work, but for those who can't give up the taste of runny yolks, this can be a safe and delicious solution. Now, take a moment to think. Have you ever eaten raw eggs in a recipe without knowing the risks? Or maybe you've heard about the benefits of eating raw eggs in protein shakes. If so, you're not alone, as it's a common practice in many places. However, as we've seen throughout this chapter, eating raw eggs poses risks that can be avoided with simple changes in preparation. So next time you're using eggs in a recipe, remember, pasteurized eggs are always the best option when full cooking isn't possible. And if you can't find pasteurized eggs, Consider adapting the recipe to ensure the eggs are fully cooked. Protecting your health and your family's should always be the priority. See how easy it is to avoid these mistakes. All it takes is a little attention, and you can avoid a series of problems that could be quite serious. So subscribe to the channel so you don't miss more videos like this, where I aim to keep you informed about what's good or bad for your health. In the video now appearing on your screen, I talk about the 9 foods that greatly harm arthritis. Click the screen and check it out. See you there.